We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. All right, so you guys saw a little clip at the beginning that's gonna kind of give you a clue as to what we're talking about. But what we're talking about today is something that is all over the news, and that is the training that Coca Cola has required their employees to take on understanding what it means to be less white. Yes, you heard correctly, ladies and gentlemen. You, Coca Cola employees, and probably soon the rest of the world, need to understand what it means to be less white. So where this training is coming from, and I'm going to kind of go through the training in just a little bit here, is from a author, and I don't know, she did some studies on race relations and this, that, and the other. You know, she's probably one of those people that's going to be asking for some forgiveness on her student loan because I don't know where a degree like the one she has really takes you other than to be completely destructive of society. However, Robin DiAngelo is the woman that created the training that Coca-Cola has mandated that their employees go through. And she wrote a book that is called White Fragility. I'll put a screenshot here so you can see the cover of the book. I believe she has been interviewed all over the place. Now, a very interesting fact is this woman that is lecturing everybody on how to be less white and less oppressive demands several $1,000s, okay, to speak about her book or to give any type of speaking engagement, you know, for her presence to be seen. She makes several $1,000s. Now, I don't know if she pockets that money or if she gives it to less white charities, but nevertheless, I just wanted to throw that in because I thought this was really, really funny. So Robin, in her book, which I have not read, I do not plan to read. Well, you know what? Maybe just for funsies, I'll read it so that I can like be a little bit informed on who this idiot is. But she claims that she grew up poor, but experienced racism because she herself was racist. She said she was afraid of going to barbecues. She was afraid of being in places where there were too many Black people. So she really understands what it is to be racist. And because she knows what it is to be racist, because she herself is a self-proclaimed racist, she assumes that if you're white, you are also a racist, okay? So let's just talk about this for a second before we go into the slides, because here's what I have to say. Number one, Coke, you are sending a message to not only your employees, okay, but your customer base, very similar to how Sephora is sending a message to their customer base, that you don't think that white is right. Which I think is hilarious because if you actually look at Coca-Cola's sales regionally, okay, they do their best in Europe, okay? If you've ever been to Europe, everybody in Europe drinks Coke. If you've been to South America, where some of my family is from, and there are a lot of Europeans in South America, everybody drinks Coke. It's something that's just like everywhere. People love Coke. I myself enjoy an occasional Coke. I typically like to drink Coke Zero, but I think moving forward, I might be drinking zero Cokes because I really don't appreciate this. I don't appreciate the message that it's sending, that because your skin is white, that your race is inferior. You know what I mean? More so, you're really sending the message to Black people that their race is inferior. just by having this training. Okay, I keep pointing out that every time a company or an institution does something special, right, to make it fair for Black people or Hispanic people or any other race but white people, okay, you're in a sense sending the message that you're inferior, Black people, Hispanic people, people of color, because we have to make a special rule for you because you're not good enough to do it on your own. You need the white person to, step to the side and give you something because you're not good enough to get it on your own. We need to give you more money. We need to give you reparations. We need to let more of you into educational institutions because we don't think that you're smart enough to get in on your own. So you need to meet a quota that we've set for ourselves on how many Black and brown bodies we need to, show in our school or in our company or whatever it may be. So I don't know, why they don't see that that's really the message that they're sending. And I think for the most part, when I go through videos watching stuff like this, I see in the comments, in fact, I was looking at some of Robin DiAngelo's interviews and I was reading in the comments, a lot of Black people actually commenting on what the hell is this white woman talking about? She doesn't speak for us. We don't feel this way. So I thought that was really, really funny. And I suggest you go watch some of her interviews because she is cray. In fact, Jimmy Fallon had her on his show recently, and the entire interview, I'll put a link to it because I can't really put it in here. Otherwise they're going to screw with this video. But Jimmy's face during this interview, he was just wow, I didn't realize that. Wow. I'm really making a Black person feel that way. And she was just literally telling him how evil his white skin is. And he was just taking it. You know what I mean? I was just dang, Jimmy, why don't you just bend over and take it in the where, because that's pretty much what this lady's doing to you right now. Anyways, I just think that telling that when I was looking through the slides of this presentation, the way I was reading it was oh, you sad little Black and brown person, we're going to do this training so that you feel good about your brown, Black skin because you're just helpless. It was insane, okay? I am just if I could have been a fly on the wall, while people were taking this training, I would have paid to do it because I can't even imagine maybe their employees were put on a gag order or something, because I've yet to hear from any employees that have taken this training to say what they've thought about it. I was even looking at Coca Cola's board of directors and their leadership. And while they had the occasional one Asian person and I think maybe 2 Black people, the entire board and their entire leadership team is white. So how about Coca-Cola? You start by setting the example and making your leadership and board of directors less white before you start telling your employees to be less white. Anyways, all right, you guys. So let's go through these slides really quick and then I'm going to end this video because I cannot wait to hear what you guys have to say about this. So one of the first slides, oh, by the way, you can go onto LinkedIn. I will also put the link below so you can go check out this training for yourself in its entirety. But I'm pretty much showing you the gist of it, okay? So this is what the slides say, and I'm going to put these up while I am talking about it. Now, I don't know what order these slides were given in, but the one that I'm going to put up right here states, in the US and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they're inherently superior because they are white. Research shows that by age 3 to 4, children understand that it is better to be white. So my question is, did you just admit that it's better to be white? Is that what you just said right here, Coca-Cola? Or Robin DiAngelo? I guess that's what she's saying. Next slide. To be less white is to be, number 1, less oppressive. Oops, I just lost my slide. Less oppressive. Number 2, be less arrogant. Okay, so apparently if you're arrogant, whatever that means, You're more white. So white people are more arrogant, because I've never seen an arrogant black person. I've never seen an arrogant Hispanic person. And I've certainly never seen an arrogant Asian person. They just don't exist. It just doesn't come with the color of your skin, people. Also, this is the funniest one. To be less white is to be less certain. So in order to be less white, you have to be less certain of yourself. You have to have insecurity issues if you want to be less white, because white people are more certain of themselves. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Be less defensive. I guess even though I'm Hispanic, I am constantly on the defense. I guess I'm considered white because I'm so defensive all the time. But in order to be less white, you need to be less defensive. So you just have to sit there and take it. Because brown people, that's what you do. You sit there and just take it. Black and brown people, be less ignorant, white people. Damn it. You guys, this hurts, okay, to go through these bullet points. This hurts. So if you're white, you are ignorant. Just know that, okay? Listen, because white people don't listen. White people don't listen. Black and brown people, they listen. So much so that they heard all the racist statements that Biden and Kamala Harris have made, and they still voted for them because they listened so well. Believe. This one made me laugh because I'm like, what does that mean? To be less white is to believe. I don't understand. Like, if anybody can make sense of that one, I'm trying to think about that. Like, believe in what? Break with apathy. Whatever. Now, here's the closer. Break with white solidarity. Listen. It's okay for black people to have BLM, okay? To have a whole Black Pride Month. It's okay for Hispanic people to celebrate Cesar Chavez Day, right? But white people, we are not going to celebrate any more white history. Forget it. We're taking down the statues. We're taking white people off the dollar bill. We're putting Harriet Tubman on there, okay? Do all this less to be less white. What's funny is when white people go and put cornrows in their hair, right? Like the, you know, well, we say white, even though they're Armenian, okay? But when the Kardashians go and put cornrows in their hair, or do what's considered a more black hairstyle, or dreads, or anything, like a white person goes and puts dreads in their hair, that's considered, what is it? Racial appropriation, right? Is it racial appropriation? Black appropriation? Racial appropriation, something like that. Anyways, it's considered appropriation, right? So they want you to be less white, but when you try to be a little bit more ethnic or urban, then you're racially appropriating. Okay, I'm confused. Is it less white to be confused? Because I'm just trying to get it right, okay? Let's skip to the very important last slide. And the last slide simply says, try to be less white, people. Try to be less white. That's it. Nothing else. After everything they've taught you, they want to leave you with some final words, and that is try to be less white. Okay. Well, that's all I got for you guys. This is where it is heading, okay? We are now telling people to be less of who they were born to be. Can you just imagine for a second if a company made a training on how to be less black or how to be less Hispanic? People would blow a gasket. Like, it would be like, what? Okay, there would be lawsuit after lawsuit after lawsuit. In fact, this entire training is a violation of civil rights. And I wouldn't be surprised if there were lawsuits after this, unless lawsuits are a white thing. And therefore, maybe Robin DiAngelo is counting on the fact that if people are going to be less white, then they're not going to do lawsuits because that would be too white of them, right? This is also a discrimination thing, right? Like, where in here did you address Asian people? Because they have white skin, okay? Like when a cop pulls an Asian person over, they don't see a black person, they don't see a Hispanic person, they see white skin. So are you talking to Asian people in this, or are you leaving them out of the equation? Because if that's the fact, that's discrimination. You didn't include everybody in that. The other final thought I had was, you know, big tech is always about, now keep in mind this was put on LinkedIn, big tech is always about shutting down things that are hateful to others, right? Because they care about making sure everybody feels included, everybody feels loved, but yet they didn't take this down. They haven't taken down anything in regards to Robin DiAngelo and her white fragility teachings on how to be less white, which seems very interesting to me. Because I'm pretty sure, as I stated before, if somebody created a training on how to be less black, Mark Zuckerberg and his little cronies and all these other dudes would run to go block people and go put up fact checks and all this other stuff. But that's not happening. Maybe that's a white thing. See, now I'm just going to question, is this more white? Am I being too white? You know what I mean? I don't know. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments box below. Do you think this is crazy? If you're black, does Robin DiAngelo speak for you? Because if I were black, I'd be like, hell to the no, is this woman speaking for me? Okay? She is crazy. And Coca Cola is crazy for making their employees go through this. Like, clearly they're not afraid of their sales being impacted, but we shall see. Anyways, give this video a like, give this video a share. Do not forget to come back and watch another one, and I will talk to you guys later. I love you so much. Mwah. Oh, wait, are kisses too white? Maybe so. No more kisses for you guys. That's too white. Bye, guys.